pas du tout une idole, pas une briseuse de cœur. J'avais trop souvent peur, pas une grande sportive, pas vraiment combative. Voilà tout ce que je ne suis pas.
She topped the charts with the planetary hit New Soul in 2007, and her stirring voice, accomplished arrangements, and irresistible melodies have filled concert halls, radio waves, and headphones ever since. As she releases a luminous new album, Franco-Israeli musician Yael Naim is here to tell us more. Hi Yael, welcome.
Hello.
Now this new record is called Solaire, so sunny, luminous in French. Definitely an optimistic, positive word.
Yeah.
Does that feel a bit countercultural right now when optimism is quite hard to come by?
I feel it's a political statement that the light should come from us and we have the power to carry it and to make a change and stop being in this dependence of exterior event, of leaders that are bringing us down, and understand that we are powerful and we can have the power to change things if we recognize it in ourselves and in each other.
Being the change you want to see, yeah. And it does feel like a contrast with your previous record, Night Songs, that perhaps approach the darker corners of life. Was this a conscious shift for you into the light?
No, I think it was a personal, psychological, classical middle-life crisis thing when I turned 40, and I was asking myself what area in myself I didn't dare seeing and what I didn't dare doing in my life. And so I felt there was like a hidden side that I thought was dark. So indeed it was hidden, but it was not that dark. It was just hidden. And so it was like recognizing the darkness and the hidden side and making peace with it. And then the shock was that I understood that I was even more afraid of my own light and my own powerful and take the place and take my independence. And because I don't know why we are sometimes afraid of this aspect, but like minimizing ourselves and not making too much noise.
And in this project, you set yourself some quite demanding, let's say, musical challenges, which we'll hear more about in a minute. But let's hear from the album. This is the first single, Dream.
If you felt loved, could you give love to me? Forest, rain, snow, fire, water, growing, breathing, needing air, ground, roots, soil, flowers, colors, lions, birds, shadow, light, silence, hidden, laughing, crying, no ending, dream, all a part of me, you're a part of it, dream.
So fans who've been following your music and your career will notice this is not the acoustic instrumental sound of a younger Yael. It's more minimal, more electric. Was this a bit of a U-turn for the younger woman who was a huge fan of classical music, of Mozart?
It was a natural evolution. I'm really hungry for creativity and curiosity, and what I love about life is discovering new people, new cultures, new places, new music, new forms of art. If I repeat myself, I'm becoming an imitation of myself, of like the image of myself. So it was quite natural for me. So I didn't really ask myself the question. It was like observing all those new tools and the synthesizers and the organic and classical and wanting to taste musically something new and excite myself first.
Yeah, it does seem quite clear in your trajectory that you're very comfortable embracing different genres, different musical traditions, and even different art forms. Visual arts, painting is very important for you, and you're very involved in the direction and editing of your music videos as well. Let's take a look at one of them from the new album. This is Wow.
Wow. Wow. You got a new gin, you got a new car, gonna meet the future. Yeah, it's gonna wow. You got it homemade, you've got a new set, you got a new pretty house, it's a wow. You've got a new song, you got it so strong. You got a car and a plane in a kitchen. You're gonna get far, cause you're a big star. You got a role in a movie that is so wow. You gotta shrink wow, so you can think wow. You got everything you wanna be, so wow, wow.
So you direct and edit your music videos. That's no small task. How does your work in the visual arts feed into what you do musically, or are they two separate domains for you?
No, it's completely merged one into the other. When I write a song, I see the vision, and it was really frustrating for years to not be able to allow myself to do it because I was not feeling confident enough. And since Night Songs, I started directing, and I bought equipment. Like, this is what I always say to women, like, buy the equipment first. And I bought the equipment, and then I was able to test everything I wanted to test, feel confident, and then take the title. And yes, now I love directing. The visual world is giving birth to something very, comment on dit, it's like the dream shape. So the music is invisible, and I give it a visible shape and an emotion. And we are in a visual world also a lot. We are receiving emotions through images, and a lot of also the negative impact we are receiving today through politics and fear is also going through visuals. So I felt if I wanted to amplify the message that is in my music, I needed to also express myself through the visual. So the cover, all the video clips, like maybe 7 video clips for this album. And the fact to become an independent artist make me find fun solution with friends, with other artists to create those videos.
Yeah, it's part of a larger narrative indeed. Well, speaking of filmmaking, you also participated in a recent documentary, writing with filmmaker Gilles Coulon, that charts your artistic and personal evolution. We see you change as an artist, particularly feeling more strongly about social justice, about politics, particularly in light of the events of October 7th, 2023. You were participating in activism for the release of the Israeli hostages and calling for a ceasefire, for an end to the violence in Gaza. You said that you were totally paralyzed when you first heard the news of what happened, that initial Hamas attack. What shook you out of the paralysis and into action?
I was always a peace activist and involved in a way, but in a hidden way and a personal way. I was involved in many foundations for human rights and for women's rights and for peace. But maybe I think it's a human thing. It was the first time that it was so close. Although I was raised in Israel and I was in this conflict since I was born, the amount of violence all at once, and the fact that friends and family it was just suddenly it was personal. And even though I'm very activist and involved, I think there is a difference when it touches us in our blood. And then the paralyzed state first was like a fear state, and I had to go to a therapist, specialized therapy, to understand what's going on in our brain when we are under trauma. And we shape into a brain state where it's fight or flight, and every thing that allows us to think and to have a reflection, is shut down because we need to fight or flight. And so I was not able not to think or not to act or say anything about it. And after this therapy, I understood that I wanted to be more involved in making this area. I just felt I needed to, I couldn't escape anymore. And I met Les Guerrières de la Paix, and I met Nava Hefetz and Ali Abu Awad, who are all activists, Israeli and Palestinian, working together to propose a new narrative and to recognize each other and to stop all the killing and all the, control, and just to recognize that we all have the right to define ourselves, to be free and to live our life quietly, and they are doing the work. So I just decided to join this little drop of the water in the water, and hoping it will become the sea.
Yeah, and we see in that film that your musical voice, your artistic voice, becomes a political voice. There's a big existential question at the center of it. Who am I as an adult? Yeah. Who am I becoming? Where did I want to go? And it's interesting, your mega hit that I mentioned, New Soul, that was almost 20 years ago now. How would you describe the new soul of Yael Naim? Where is she now? It's always kind of the same, the same research of where is my voice
inside of the noise and of the society, and how can I live peacefully with myself, know who I am and what's my role in this life, recognizing also that we are a collective and wanting to be a part of a collective. So this balance is not always easy to find. So I think it's this question, I ask myself this question every few years, because we change as human beings, our cellular change.
Yeah.
The new Yael, I guess, is much more free, much more mature, because, time do things. I'm also a mother, and I think I understand myself better, and I feel I want to, I would love to give to the next generation and to women this voice and this awareness that we are powerful and that together we can make a lot of changes, and we are already doing it. It's just that I love this phrase, a tree that falls is much louder than a forest that
grows.
That grows.
Yeah, so it's happening. We might not just
it's happening.
notice it
The
yet.
forest grows. A lot of people are acting for it, but we need to recognize this powerful light within ourselves.
Now, finally, we asked you what's on your cultural radar, and you pointed us in the direction of a Franco-Brazilian artist named Gilda. She also makes music. She has a very unique approach. What caught your attention in her work?
So I met Gilda maybe 1 or 2 years ago. David gave her his studio for a year. She recorded also in our home, and she became a friend first. And then I think she's one of the most powerful artists I know in these days, because she have a message. She talks about the people we refuse to see, like the one we call crazy, the one that we prefer not looking at. She talks about mental health. She comes from a mix of cultures. She's a Franco-Brazilian. She's an incredible voice, incredible artist, actress also. And she creates, again, all her proposition, all the characters she is on stage, and the spiritual message she carries is real. She's really unique. It's something else.
Definitely worth checking out. Thank you very much for the tip. We'll leave you with Gilda's track Utopiste, and like Yael Naim, she'll also be touring in the coming months. Yael has a date at l'Olympia Concert Hall next year, end of March 2027, as well as many dates in the coming months. Otherwise, do check in with us next time here on Arts 24. There's more news coming up just after this.
Imagine toujours ces deux femmes comme toi et moi. Là, maintenant, on a les mêmes discussions, les mêmes réflexions, les mêmes désirs de changer, même les mêmes combats.